Happy Self-Love Sunday, ladies. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that your journeys are going well. So today you're gonna need a paper and a pen to jot some things down because I have some notes for you today, baby. So today we're gonna talk about, because I get this question a lot, whether it's with clients or just talking to people, like, well, how do you know you love yourself? Like, what do you measure that by? How do you determine that, right? So I came up with some, and these are not all the ways, but these are just some, because I can't give them all to you on these videos. These are just some of the ways in which you can recognize or a person who loves themselves. So we're gonna get started. The very first way you can recognize a person who loves themselves, they're self-confident. These are the people who walk in a room and you just notice their presence. There's just something about them that speaks to, they are confident in their walk, confident in their talk, confident in their body language, right? You just kind of recognize these people when you see them. And for my self-confident people who love themselves, let me just say this to you. When a person who does not love themselves meets someone who does, they often mistake their confidence for arrogance and or even sometimes cockiness. But that is because, and let me help you today, my people, my beauties, so you don't keep shrinking yourself back. That is because their insecurity is threatened by your security of self. Let me hit you with it one more time, just in case you missed that. A person who does not love themselves, when they meet a person who loves themselves, often they mistake the confidence for arrogance and or cockiness. And that is because their insecurity is threatened by their security of self. And when you love yourself, let me just say this. You will know, because listen, we can be arrogant and cocky too, right? But you'll know the difference when you love yourself by my next measurement. And that's self-assessment. Listen, people who love themselves, we check ourselves. Often we don't need anyone to check us. We can check ourselves because we are in tune and aware with how we're feeling, thinking, in the way we're moving about. So we self-assess ourselves. And we know whether we are an ego, edging God out based, which is that arrogant cockiness and sometimes even nastiness, right? Versus being an ego, exalting God only, which is more spiritual based, walking in that love, light, empathy, compassion, and understanding, right? So we know the difference between the two. The next measurement, because we're down to 3, is self-respect. Let me tell you something, honey. If you are a Cullinan diamond, and if you don't know what that is, I'm going to need you to look that up. It's Cullinan diamond, which I believe the queen houses right now and is worth up to $2 billion. You will not treat yourself nor allow anyone to treat you like a cubic zirconian, okay? You just won't do it. So that's the next one. So we had self-confidence, self-assessment, self-respect, now self-assurance. Listen, you will be bold, confident, unafraid to take risk. All right? So here's the thing. No one is walking all over you because you have boundaries. And you will no longer betray yourself by saying yes to the things that you want to say no to. Okay? So that's self-assurance. The next one is self-assertive. When we have something to say, we speak up, something to value. We don't shrink back. Very often I see this in corporate America, right? Where people won't assert themselves because they're afraid. They don't believe in themselves, right? That's a form of self-love. You won't shrink back anymore. You know you have something of value and importance to say, and you will speak up and say that. All right? So the next one is self-motivation. Listen, when you love yourself, you don't need an alarm clock, a person, or anyone else to get you up and to get moving with your goals and the things that you have set for yourself. You will motivate yourself to get moving, to work on that next project, to get out that bed and work out. I know it's rough. We talk about it all the time. Listen, but you will motivate yourself because you know that you have things and dreams that you need to tackle. So it's not to say you won't listen to things or things won't inspire you. However, the motivation to get up and get it done will come from the inside. Okay? Oh, so the next one, self-value. People who love themselves place a high value on their life. Okay? So what that means is they stay high. They don't go low to meet people where they are. They bring people up to meet them where they are. Okay? So we value ourselves. We're eagles, honey. We're soaring. We're flying. We're not going down on the ground to meet. No, you have to come up here. Okay? And that's all right. The next one is self-giving. Listen, you can't give anyone anything you can't give yourself. We talk about it all the time. Everybody runs around here talking about how they love this person and they love that person. If you don't love yourself, no, you. Here's the thing: you love them for as much as you love yourself. Period. You cannot love someone more. You cannot give them more than you are giving you. That's just that. So that's why we got to love on ourselves, baby, so we can go out here and love on people and create that life and that love that's for us and just have an abundance of it, baby. The next one is self-affirmed. You affirm yourself. You trust your intuition. Here's the thing, because there's a difference between, seeking feedback, right, which I do, or often, sometimes asking for advice. I'm talking about when you are so I remember, let me just use myself as an example, not put nobody else in this. I remember I was going through something years ago with a boyfriend, and I went to like 10 different people with the same question over and over and over again, all because I didn't trust the very answer that I knew that was inside me anyway, which was to leave, honey. Period. In the story. But that's because, I needed someone else to validate and affirm me because I didn't love myself. I didn't trust myself. But when you love yourself, you will validate and self-affirm yourself. Hey, listen, how do you know that it's time is just that, right? You don't go to 5, 10, 15 different people with the same question over and over again. You learn to sit within yourself and to get with yourself and basically, affirm yourself, validate yourself. And you learn to say those things like, I am a great mom. Come on, mothers. We got to start saying that. And this is not dependent upon, sometimes our children, emotions or how they go out, in the world and act. Because sometimes they can cut up just like we did. Okay, don't forget that. Right? Some just like we did. But that doesn't mean you're not a great mom. You working hard, you working on yourself, you're working on your healing, you're providing, you're listening, you're being there. Listen, you're chauffeuring, you're the hairdresser, everything. You are a great mom. You have to say that to yourself. I'm a great mom. I am love. I am beautiful inside and out. I am thankful. I am a giver. I am bold. I am successful. You got to start affirming yourself. Write these. Listen, it's written all over my mirrors in my room. It's written on my bathroom mirrors. Everywhere I go, even at my desk, I affirm myself. I make sure I say that to myself a few times a day because life happens and negativity comes in your life. But you got to be able, when you love yourself, baby, you affirm yourself. You validate you. Okay? And the next, oh man, this is a big one. Huge. If you don't get most of what I tell you today, I need you to get this one. Self-forgiving. So many times I hear people say, you have to forgive others. You have to forgive others. And I think that's a wonderful point, and it's a great point. Okay? But the most important person that you must forgive is yourself. You have to forgive yourself for allowing certain things in your life. You have to forgive yourself for not loving yourself in a certain moment to allow these things to happen to you. You have to release that guilt and pain and heartache that was attached to that event. You got to forgive yourself, honey. You did the best you could in the moment with what you knew. And if you grew from that, you have to forgive yourself. And here's the kicker. You want to forgive the other person, but truthfully, if you haven't forgiven yourself, you haven't forgiven them either because you're still holding on to it. Forgiveness is letting it go. Forgiveness is giving it away and letting it go. And then, what do I always say? Forgiveness, which is an apology. The best apology is change behavior. Once you forgive yourself, you do not go back and do that thing over again. Okay? Let's do that. Let's start forgiving ourselves. Let's work on that healing. And the next one, self-care. Oh my God, you have to take time out to love on you. Listen, that could be, and it doesn't have to be some expensive thing. That could be going for a walk in the park. That could be taking a warm bath. That can be learning about meditation and doing it, because there's so many different forms. People think it's just this silent thing and it's like, I can't quiet my mind. There's so many different forms of meditation that you can get into. Look into that. And most importantly, it's just seeking peace of mind in a world full of chaos. Taking time out to care for your needs. Okay. Oh, and I've saved the best for last. Oh, because this is the one that people generally miss the most. Okay. And they don't really understand just how important it is. And that is self-investing. If you don't invest in your mental, emotional, financial, physical, and spiritual health, you can't fully achieve the full love of self. Okay? And bigger than that, if you don't invest in you, why is it that we expect others to invest in us? If you don't put you first, if you don't take the time out to enrich yourself, to gain knowledge of self, then why do you expect your spouse, your children, your friends, your family, and everyone else to invest in you? You don't even invest in you. Okay? And here's the thing. What I mean by investing in yourself, it could be something as simple as turning the TV off, because everybody thinks it's about this big money thing. It's not. It's simple. It can be simple as turning the TV off, hanging up that phone gossiping. Child, I did it too. Don't play with me. We all did it, okay? Knock it off. Stop that gossiping, right? Getting off social media, scrolling, looking for that next meme, or going to all these different life coaches pages or tarot pages or spiritual to get these little like snippets of what you think can help yourself, and actually helping yourself. Reading something that helps develop the mind, right? Listening to podcasts, things of positivity that can help enrich you. Listen, everybody doesn't like to sit with a book, which I think is very important, because sitting with a book is also another form of meditation, right? It quiets the mind and focuses you in. Because sometimes when you're listening to something, especially moms, right? We're listening to things and we're doing a million other things. But there's sometimes when you're developing yourself, you need to just kind of sit in that for a minute and just get quiet and really take it in. But it's okay if you can't, right? Because I even listen to Audible in my car. So it's not just that I'm reading in my room, which I do every single night. And my latest read, I know people, is the Bible. And I've decided to take this on. Usually I read like 2 or 3 and 4 books at a time. But this is just something where, again, I want more knowledge of self. A lot of times when we go to church or spiritual advisor, things of that nature, we're getting that person's interpretation of what the Bible says. But I felt like for me, I want to gain my own interpretation of some things, or I really want to feel and understand certain things. So this is what I've decided to take on. But that's what investing in yourself means. Okay? And listen, the other thing is loving your internal organs by feeding them better foods. Listen, yesterday I went to Produce Junction and we were in here like a well-oiled machine. I had my daughter and my daughter's friend who now staying with me. They were all in here. We were chopping up vegetables. My granddaughter's here. We're chopping up vegetables. My son, child, he ain't help with nothing. Okay. I had to make him sweep the floor just so he can help. But we made frozen baggies for smoothies, for vegetable smoothies with fruit in them. I mean, we made like 35 bags, because listen, I recognize that I have to do these things for myself too. And then they also like them too. But the next thing in investing in yourself, loving on your body by moving it. And it doesn't, again, have to be this big exercise program. Go walk it. Okay, take your body for a walk. Love on that body. Because I'm going to tell you something. When I was away on vacation and I was looking at people who could no longer do that and they had canes and stuff, let me tell you something. You better start appreciating if your body can move. Start appreciating that and move it. Love on your body. And listen, take a new course. Learn something new. Explore. Hire that therapist, that life coach, that spiritual advisor. Stop looking for a handout and invest in you. Like I said again, if you don't invest in you, please stop, expecting everybody else to. It all begins and ends with you. If you want love, you have to love you. And I'm not saying that you're not worthy, and I'm not saying that you are not enough now, because that's not it. I'm saying that if you want it to grow, if you want to be more than where you are right now, It starts with you, not that other person coming in and doing it for you. Okay? Now, let me say this to you. Now, you may have some of these qualities that I've gone over, and then you may be short on the rest. But that's why you hire hello, a life coach to help you break down those blockages, to help you get to that point of where and figure out why maybe you're not as self-confident, maybe you're not as self-affirming, maybe you don't value yourself like that $2 billion baby, that $2 billion diamond. Come on, let me, ooh, that diamond, honey. You know what I mean? So and they provide tips and tools so you can really walk in the light. Because I'm gonna tell you something right now. Let's break down this. No one wants to be alone. No one wants to be depressed. No one wants to be built up with sadness and anger and mental anxiety and stress. No one wants that. No one. But the way to work through that, honey, is to start to love on you, accepting where you are and not panicking about the future and letting go of that past. There's nothing back there for you. And when I look back on the past, it's to say, look how far I've come, baby. I was 16 and pregnant on welfare, living in the inner city of Plainfield, New Jersey, and I love my town. I love where I'm from. And people get it twisted because I've moved on and I'm no longer living there, that I think I'm better. No, I don't. Let me tell you something. On the best day, I'll tell you, that still lives in me. And I'm proud of that because where I came from shaped a lot of who I am today. Okay? The reason why I thrive in corporate America is because of that street smarts. So no, I'm still very much that girl. But I've grown into this beautiful woman who can stand on this video today, who would never have gone in the video because she hated the way her nose looked. She hated the way her eyes were shaped. Okay. Just tell you my story. Because she always heard she was too dark and she looked like a man and all these things about her that she would have never done. I love the woman that I am, and I'm looking forward to the woman I'm even becoming, because it ain't over for me, baby. Let me tell you something, and it's not over for you. If you listen, as long as you're living, you should be growing and evolving. Okay, you should never stop wanting to learn and invest in yourself. It's so important for us to do that. Because see, here's the thing. When you do that, your purpose finds you. See, you don't go out and look for your purpose. When you start to invest in you, love on you, become a little bit more calm, it starts to come. I didn't go out and look for, who I am today. It found me. It found me in doing the things that I was doing in fitness. It found me in silence when I was meditating. Like, it found me. And lastly, before I get ready to go in this video, I want to say this. I hear this analogy so much. Hurt people hurt people. And it's a very true statement. When you are hurting and you lack and you're insecure, you often put that on, first of all, the people who are closest to you. The ones that you claim to love. Those are the ones that feel most. You don't go on your job and do it to your boss. You don't go on your job and do it to, your managers or the people that are within your company. You do it most times in your home, most times to your spouse or significant other. Okay, you bleed all over them, and they weren't even the ones that cut you. It started many years ago when you were younger. And let me say this. What happened to you as a child when you were adolescent, okay? It's not your fault. And it wasn't even your job to fix it then. It wasn't. I understand and I know it more than you ever know. There were some things that happened, and we'll get into my story a little bit more as these videos develop. But to me, when I was a child, it wasn't my fault. And someone should have gotten me someone help to talk to and walk through about it, but it didn't happen. But baby, I'm 45 years old. And if you are anywhere in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, because some of these people still have not worked on it, 60s, it is not your parents' job anymore. It is not those people's job, those adults that were in your life, your aunts, your uncles, because it does take a village to raise a child. It's not their job anymore. It is yours to heal that. You can't keep blaming people. You can't keep putting it on your parents. You're grown. It is your job to heal this, to break that generational curse so you don't pass it down to your kids and you think that you're not, oh, but you are. You are. Those fears as a result of what happened to me, I passed down. I was smothering my kids, smothering. And that's a form of hurting, okay? Because I was so scared that this may happen to them because I didn't heal it. I didn't catch it early enough. But now that I have, and I'm one of those moms that as I keep developing and I keep growing and healing, I talk to my kids so they understand this. And that's another thing that it will do for you. It will help you talk to your children instead of talking at them, beating them in the head. They're not listening. And most times it's really not what you say, it's they model what you do. So that's another reason why this self-love thing is important. People don't listen to what you say, they watch what you do. So if I came on these videos and I was speaking all this and I was telling you all this and people in my life saw me walking with my head low, not really loving myself, not really doing all things, they're not listening. Although I will say this too. Sometimes people miss the message because they're looking too deep into the messenger. I've seen homeless people preach lessons that were beautiful and insightful and actually helped. Okay? I've seen because they've been there and they've done that. And they know what it takes not to. Listen, they're telling you what it takes not to be in their shoes. But you're so busy looking at maybe a little bit of dirt, a little bit of smell, and thinking that you're better than that you're missing it. And that goes for the same of when you grow and evolve into who you are because you do love yourself and you're growing into the person that you're meant to be and walking into your life. There's going to be some people who knew you listen, because I always say, even from a year ago, honey, I've grown, right? So they've known you or known parts of you and they're not even a part of your life. And they'll be like, well, who does she think she is? You know, she was on welfare and she was a fighter and she was petty and she did do this and she did do that. They're going to hold you there. Okay? But that's because that's what they do to themselves. They're not willing to grow, so they're not willing to see someone else grow. And they need to pigeonhole you there. But let me tell you something. That's that hurting other people, right? Because they can't move past, like, how dare you? How dare you grow? Who do you think you are? You know? It's like, I think I am a woman who decided not to take the easy way out in life. I think I am the woman, I know, let's stop saying think, honey. I know I'm the woman who decided to heal my past traumas, to rock, to cry, to let those emotions come up, to feel that pain, to listen, to go into the therapist's office 2 hours away, laying on the step until she got there crying, honey, to work through that pain so that I do not end up in that place ever again. And let me tell you something. So we talked about that analogy of hurting people. So let me tell you something that they don't talk about. Healed people. Heal people. How do you think I got here today? Because see, that's what happens. Once you start to heal and you get on the other side, you then can look over and say to that woman or my men, say to the other, because men, listen, y'all need each other too. I wish, I say that to my sons, you need other men around you. Okay, that's been through that fire, that's been through that pain, right? And that are now healed and not giving you some messed up advice like forget women, there's no good men out there, all that other crazy mess because they haven't healed, right? To give you that advice, to help you understand that you can get to the other side. I'm here to tell all my women that feel like they down and out on their luck that may be on government assistance. Honey, don't let that assistance use you. You use it. Use that as a way to boost yourself because that's what I did. Go back and get that education. And listen, it's not always college. There's certification programs. Listen, I always need a plumber, an electrician, somebody to fix my listen, can somebody get over here and fix my dishwasher? Okay, my refrigerator, my washer and dryer. Let's stop looking down on trades. Fix my car. All right, let's stop looking down on trades because let me tell you something. When I call somebody in here to look at my washing machine, it's $150 for them to walk in my door. Okay, it's people to lay floors, fix things, right? So whatever that is, use that. to then go educate yourself. Find a trade. Even in Corona, we need those people with those trades. All right? So I'm here to tell you, like, if I can make it, I had the nastiest attitude. I didn't love myself. I struggled for years with so many different things. Listen, I had my first son at 17. Well, I did graduate high school. I graduated with a baby in my arms, right? So you can have all those things happen to you. What I was touched when I was younger. I'm here to tell y'all. Listen, grief. Lost my aunt who was like a sister to me because we were only a year apart. My son was murdered. All of these things. And let me tell you something. I am still thriving and making it because I work on me diligently. Also, I will never ever do a video and not say this to or a podcast and not say it's because I have a higher power and I have hope and faith every single day. I believe the universe has my back. I believe that God has my back. I believe that my spirit angels, my guides, they got me. I believe that, and I believe that because I work on me. Okay? All you need is the faith of a mustard seed that you're going to make it and you're going to get through this next steps. And sometimes we feel stuck. But when you feel stuck, you got to get out and try something new. Look into new things. Start looking up things. Okay? This is a little bit longer than what I wanted to be, but this was so good today. I really hope that you were able to take some notes and to write these things down. And listen, if you need help on your journey, I'm here for you. Sass Fitness, MOESASS. Yes, Sass, honey, sassy all day, every day. Don't get me twisted. Hello. moesassfitness at gmail.com. Sass Fitness LLC on Facebook and Instagram. I look forward to hearing from you. I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your Sunday, and I will talk to you next week.